It's my honor to introduce our first speaker, Daniela Viale from Muhlenberg College, Pennsylvania, and she will be talking to us about Spunti, the Italian OER that she's developed for elementary Italian. So Daniela, ciao, you have the floor.
Buongiorno and ciao. Thank you so much, Carl, for the introduction. So yes, my name is Daniela Viale, and Muhlenberg College is a small but very vibrant college in Pennsylvania, in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and very much has decided to devote energy and resources to develop OERs. So I'm really the beneficiary of this encouragement by the college. Spunti in Italian, for those of you who don't know Italian, means starting points, also kind of like a springboard. So this is what the idea that we had for this program is really to offer some starting points to instructors and students to learn the language, develop it, and perhaps being inspired to go further, to go beyond the starting points. Let me see. I want to share with you the screen. Okay, so the program's name again is Spunti. Okay, so I've been teaching at Muhlenberg for 7 years, but I've been teaching for long before. And after years of teaching Italian, my colleague at Muhlenberg, Professor Daniela, and I became very frustrated by the exorbitant cost of available textbooks, which I'm pretty much sure we are all familiar with, which presents students with a significant financial burden. And also the limitations textbooks necessarily impose on our choices. And for example, I found myself many times trying to rework an activity or find a new reading because I was unhappy with the one offered in the textbook. But as you do that, you realize you had your students pay $300 for that textbook, and you feel very guilty doing that. You want them to use the material in the textbook. So those were a few problems we were encountering, and we became very aware of the fact that we wanted to change that. But this goes back to 2018 when we started to think about this. And in 2018, there were plenty of OERs already in Italian. But they were very much of varied quality, disparate sources, and there was nothing synthesized and in a coherent course. So we decided to just build our own at that point. We were also inspired by our successful intermediate program that we were using at Muhlenberg that we had built ourselves, but it was not, and it is not an OER at this point. So we thought we can do this in elementary Italian. So between 2018 and 22, we secured the college support. We were given funds to work on this in the summer. With these funds, we also paid the videographer that we hired to film original videos in Torino. And we had tons of technological support provided by our digital assistants at Muhlenberg. In all these years, we had to make key decisions on what we wanted to include in this program, the structure, the material, how much space to give to speaking, to writing. So we had to really make decisions that any textbook writer would have to make. And so in these 4 years, we have created and constantly reworked the curriculum for both elementary 1 and elementary 2. So in those 4 years, we developed a fully designed course, initially available only for us at Muhlenberg through Canvas, which is the learning management system we use. Finally, though, in the summer of last summer, really, 2021, I was able to secure funds to go a little bit further. So we decided to really open this program, which we think it's a very good program, and our students are being successful with it. We decided to open it to everybody. So we went on Pressbook. We put everything on Pressbook. So now on this Muhlenberg Pub Italiano Elementare 1, which was built on the platform that Muhlenberg has for Pressbooks, we were able to offer a full program at zero cost for instructors and students. So we have straightforward grammatical explanations, not overly technical. We don't want to get into that, but we believe that grammar is important to really enable effective communication. We prepared printable activity packets for in-class use. So the instructor and the students can print that out, and that becomes really the textbook, the physical textbook in the class. The big thing that last summer I worked on was to prepare interactive exercises for practice on Pressbook. So I used this program called H5P, which is a software based on JavaScript. I learned how to use it, and I built about, I think, 100 exercises, if not more, on Pressbook, so that anybody can practice Italian. The students can practice Italian. They have keys right after they try to take an exercise, and they can take them multiple times. Before doing this, we only had those exercises available on Canvas for our students at Muhlenberg. So now the big change is really to have made those exercises available for the world. What we also realized was that even though this was great, having exercises, having the packets, having the grammatical explanations was a wonderful thing, but it was not enough for an instructor to really start using these materials. So I designed last summer 38 complete lesson plans, which the instructors can find in the appendix of the Pressbook. So now it is really a fully fledged OER that anybody can use and change and vary as they please. What I hope to do in the coming summer is to do exactly the same for elementary too. So I already have a Pressbook ready with grammatical explanations. What I need to do is the other 3 points: the activity packets, the interactive exercises that I have to build on Pressbook, and the lesson plans. So that's coming up in the summer. So Spunti will soon be a complete elementary Italian program, which I hope will be really useful for other instructors and students. Everything comes at zero cost. The only cost is printing the packets, which in the end, there's 5 or 6 units per class, per course. It might amount to $10 or something like that, or maybe be free, depending on the college, if they cover your printing expenses. So that is really cheap compared to 300 or plus the cost of a normal textbook and the online platform. Our approach is very interactive, conversational. We believe in task-based communication. We also believe in grammar as an effective way of enabling communications. And we try to really sprinkle everything with some culture, being it videos or songs, articles that we take from Italian newspapers or other sources. So what we're trying to do is and also be on the move, meaning we're not stuck in what we have prepared. We continue to change, add, and this is the beauty of the OER, because any instructor who might be interested in using this program may decide, I don't like that reading, I'm gonna go with my own. And at that point, there's no guilt in not using what I have prepared. You can go with your own material and supplement and implement it. So I wanted to show you what it looks like. If I have a little bit of time, I wanted to show you what Spunti looks like. Let me just share. Okay, so now you should be able to see it. By the way, the picture on the right, this nice Cinquecento car in Rome, was completely unstaged, taken on the moment. We took a lot of pictures also the summer before starting this project, just to add casual moments like this to our teaching and to our material. For example, the foreword says a lot of what I have just explained to you. The premessa per gli insegnanti is really some guidelines, some ideas that guide the teachers to understand how we built the material and what we envision with this material. We have a page that thanks our contributors, the videographer, the college for funding our work. Each unit, and there are, I think, 6 units, yes, in 101. Each unit has an introduction, very short, that explains what the students and the teachers will do in this unit. The unit has the packet, the printable packet that instructors can use in the classroom. And they can also, if they want, they can vary it. That's the beauty of the OER. And then, for example, Unit 1 has different pages for the alphabet, the pronunciation, the very first grammatical points like the verb to be, or numbers, or how do you speak formally or informally to Italians, and so forth. And the last page, this esercizi interattivi, the interactive exercises, is what I built last summer, which really completes the course. So there are many exercises built with this H5P software, where students can fill in the blanks, for example, and they will receive immediate feedback and see if they've done correctly. At the end of these exercises, there are a lot of listening comprehension activities, articles, as you see, or short writings. Let me find you. For example, in the exercises where there's listen, those are the activities that we organized around the videos that our videographer took in Italy. So we have listening comprehension, grammatical practice, cultural explanation. It is a complete course. So at this point, I would stop talking and see if there are any questions, any comments about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniela. Really excellent. And I do have a question here. And we always get these kinds of questions, and I think they're excellent questions. They're really about how did you do this? So how did you become proficient in H5P? What challenges did you face learning how to use it? Any advice for someone who wants to learn it but doesn't have any idea how? So let's just take the first question there about the learning curve of the software that you were using.
I was very scared. I have to say at the beginning, I thought, no, this is beyond my competence. It's not. It was really easy. I met once with an H5P specialist through the digital assistants in my college. We talked for about an hour. They showed me how to do things. And from there, I learned and I just built a lot of exercises. It was really not difficult.
Okay.
And there are books out there, actually, OER books that explain to you how to do it too.
Okay, so this, again, you are self-taught, but you had a little bit of help at your university.
I had an initial help and then I self-taught, yes.
Right. And he also asked the same question about Pressbooks in general, because Pressbooks is a platform. So how easy was it for you to learn how to create using Pressbooks?
There again, in the summer of 2018, the digital assistants at my college helped me to figure it out. I had no idea. That was the hardest part. Adding the H5P once I knew how to use Pressbook was really no big deal. So I had initial help with technology. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have figured it out by myself.
Right. There are another set of questions, I think, that deal with incorporating content that you find from other sources. So paying attention to copyright. And let's say the question, how do you deal with copyright when using articles from an Italian newspaper?
If I use articles that are fully available on the internet, which you don't use passwords or subscription for, I just put the link and quote the source. If I use pictures, I'm very careful to use only pictures that are in the common creative space, license space. I never use pictures that require some sort of subscription or anything else. The grammatical explanations are completely our words. We have not done any copying from other books or other OERs, so there's no problem there. The listening activities are all our own original ones, so there was no issue there.
So I just want to follow up what Mimi is saying, that there is an incredible amount of open content for you to use on the internet.
Right.
People don't seem to understand how to access it or how to find it. And that's one of the things about this conference that I want everyone to come away learning. We have just we have a plenary talk that is by the head of Creative Commons. Daniela has mentioned several times Creative Commons licenses. So that's really important for you all to understand. Creative Commons is an organization that has developed licenses that people are using to openly share their media. So please stick around for the plenary. You'll understand a lot more about the notion of copyright because it's really changing in the internet era. Okay, let's see. Oh, now they're coming in and we don't have too much more time. There's a good question here about, yeah, I think that I answered Mimi's question about how do you incorporate copyright-free materials if you don't have the money to go to the country. Let's see. So I think, yeah, the name of the software again, if you could mention to everyone
Yeah,
what
it's
you use.
H5P. I can write it in the chat. Actually, it's H5P, and actually it was embedded it is embedded in Pressbook, at least in the Pressbook platform that we use at Muhlenberg, which is an educational platform. It's just not the one that you find for free on the internet. Some colleges are investing money in purchasing the educational instructional component of Pressbooks, which is a little bit more advanced and allows you to do more things. So H5P was embedded, was a possibility already in the Pressbook that I was already building.
So H5P for creating all these wonderful activities and exercises. There was a question about that in the chat. Somebody wants to know, you do, of course, as the instructor, get to see all of their answers, correct?
So the thing that I really hope to learn in this conference is how to embed or connect, for example, Canvas, which we use at Muhlenberg, with Pressbook. So as far as I know, for now, that's not a possibility. So all these exercises you take on Pressbooks, there's no record of it. You don't know if your students are taking them. You can assign them in the classroom, see what they're doing. You can assign them for practice outside of the classroom. There's no way of having those exercises connected to the gradebook in Canvas or Blackboard or Moodle, whatever LMS you're using. I hope I can learn how to do that. What we do at Muhlenberg is we have built all of those exercises in Canvas. So we have the Canvas platform for that, and then we have Pressbook for everybody else who wants to practice with those exercises. So I hope I can learn how to integrate, we can all learn how to integrate these exercises from Pressbook to Canvas or another LMS.
Well, I'm going to have to end it here. Grazie, molti complimenti.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming and joining me in this.